What is going on YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and believe it or not, I recorded this whole video and the freaking mute button was on. So I'm re-recording this thing. This is take 2. We are here for another Hot 10 list. Like always, guys, there are some really cool books on this list this week. There are some new books finally on this list this week. Past couple of Hot 10 lists, I would say over the last month or so, have had the kind of like the same books over and over and over. We finally have some new stuff to talk about, which is awesome. But before we get started in that list, if you are not a current subscriber of the channel, guys, and you have been enjoying my content, I want you to go and hit that subscribe button for me because it really does help the channel out. And of course, I want you to smash that like button if you dig this video or any of my other videos. But most of all, I want you guys to comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of the books on this list. Should we be buying these books here at these prices? Or are there any books on this list that you want that you can't find? Or even if you're selling any of them, let me know down in the comments below because I always enjoy hearing what you guys have to say. But we're going to get started for the second time here on this list. At number 10 this week is a copy of Crime Suspense Stories number 17, a pre-code horror book. And of course, this is a classic cover by Johnny Craig. I am a pre-code horror collector. However, I don't like spending a ton of money on these books. This book, a CGC 4.5, recently sold this week for $900, and that is actually up 97% since February of this year. Like I said, guys, if you could find these books for relatively cheap or at a deal, I'm always worth picking them up. However, $900 is a little bit expensive for me, at least for my taste for these books, only for the fact because I told you guys last week, they don't appreciate as quick as these Marvel, independent, or even DC keys. So again, they're really awesome, but I'm not going crazy on these books. At this price, this is probably a no for me, guys. At number 9 this week is a book that was on the list last week and the week before, Bloodstone number 1, first appearance of Elsa Bloodstone. Now, the rumor is that she's going to appear in the future Blade movie from the MCU. I'm not too sure about that rumor, guys. However, a CGC 9.6 recently sold last week for $479, and that's up 21% since last October. That has gone up quickly, as you could say, over the past month. I am a buyer of this book. I told you guys that over the past couple of weeks. However, it's starting to creep up now. If you haven't bought your copy, I would do it now before it goes even higher. But yes, I'm still a buyer here at these prices. At number 8 is a book that I am absolutely in love with and I actually don't own a copy. It is Journey into Mystery number 85, the first appearance of Loki, and of course, the first cameo appearance of Odin. Now, Loki's been in the MCU since day one. He's had his own Disney Plus series, and he's going to get a second season of the Disney Plus series. This book has really gone up the charts over the past 3 or 4 years. You could have had a 1.0 a couple of years back for about $500. Now, a CGC 3.5 recently sold last week for $3,800, and actually the second highest sale since May of this year. I don't have a percentage for you guys, unfortunately, but either way, this book is always a buy for me. Loki's a huge character in the Marvel lore. This book is always worth owning if you can get it for under book value. So yes, I'm always a buyer of this book, and at any price you can get as long as it's under book value. At number 7 this week is a copy of Fantastic Four Annual number 1, the first appearance of Krang, and of course the origin of the Fantastic Four retold. Now, I'm not always a buyer of annual or number 1 annuals or retelling of origin stories. However, a CGC 3.5 of this book recently sold this week for $428, and that's up 28% since May of this year. Again, this is not a badly priced book. It's actually a fair price. If you guys can buy it for under book value, under that $428, then yes, I'd be a buyer. But for me, for my taste, I'm staying away from this book. I'm probably going to put that $400 towards another book that I am looking for. But yes, this is a key book if you guys want to add to your collection. To me, I'm just not that interested. At number 6 this week is a copy of Nova number 1. Now, we have been harping on this book for the past 3 or 4 years that Nova was coming. He hasn't shown up yet, but I am betting within the next couple of years we are finally going to get to see him. Of course, Nova is Richard Rider. A CGC 7.5 recently sold last week for $180, up 6% since October. To me, yes, this book is still a buy. It is still really, really cheap. Again, a 7.5 for $180 is definitely not bad. However, if I'm going to buy this book, I'm probably going to buy this book in 8.5 or higher. To me, it's just a book I'd rather have in higher grade. You guys, though, you make your own decisions. You guys let me know what you'd be buying. To me, high grade on this book. There are a lot of copies out there, but yes, I am always a buyer. At number 5 this week is a book I cannot figure out why it's on this list. It is Avengers number 3. Now, again, this is not a key issue. Yes, it is a Silver Age Avengers at Avengers number 3. Cool looking cover, but again, it's not a key issue. The CGC 6.5 recently sold this week for $1,150, and that's actually up 5% since June. But if anybody knows out there why this book is spiking a little bit now, over the past year, like, books have been going crazy. Now this book is starting to go up 5%. Like I said, drop me comments down below. Let me know, because I do not know why. Again, I'm not spending $1,200 on a book that's really not a key issue. So again, this is a thumbs down for me, guys. But again, if you want to add it to your collection and you think it's worth it, I'm never going to stop you. At number 4 this week is another annual, Journey into Mystery Annual number 1, the first appearance of Hercules. Now, there is a rumor that Hercules is going to show up in Thor: Love and Thunder. Again, this is the rumor. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. Either way, a CGC 3.5 recently sold last week for $450, and that's up 64% since March of this year. This book has been going crazy over the past year. Again, it is still relatively inexpensive, 3.5 for $450 to me. If you're a Hercules fan and you want to pick up this book, go ahead and snatch it. To me, I am not a huge Hercules fan, so I'm probably going to be staying away. However, I'd be looking for deals on this book, because again, this Hercules rumor is exactly that. It's just a rumor. I'd like to see a Champions like Disney Plus show. Again, if they'd rumored for that, then I'd be all in on this book, but I don't know what his role is going to be in this movie if he shows up. So again, buyer beware. If you want to own it, go ahead, jump in at a reasonable price. At number 3 this week is a copy of Marvel Premiere number 10, the first Shumagorath. I don't even know who the hell that is, guys. I will say this. I was watching a claim sale the other night on Instagram, and somebody had like 5 copies of this book, so obviously this book is really heating up. There's a rumor that they're going to appear in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, so that is why this book is spiking all of a sudden. The CGC 8.0 recently sold last week for $600, and that's up 140% since March of this year. To me, this book is really hot right now. Again, I am not a fan because I don't know who this character is. However, like I said, it is still relatively cheap. An 8.0, $600, it's a lot of money, but maybe you could buy a 4 or 5.0 and not spend as much money. To me, I'm staying away, only because I don't know who the character is. I'm not familiar. But again, if you are really a Doctor Strange fan and you know who this character is and you want to pounce on it, be my guest. It's just something that I'm not familiar with, guys, so it's a no for me. At number 2 is a book I am familiar with and actually have 2 copies of. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 101, the first appearance of Morbius. Now, we saw that second trailer drop for the Morbius movie that is coming to theaters soon. And what I'm excited about is we don't know which universe this takes place in. Is it in the MCU? Is it in the Sonyverse? We have no idea right now. Either way, a CGC 7.5 recently sold this week for $1,499, and that's up 11% since last week. Believe it or not, this book is starting to heat up again. Again, I am a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm a Morbius fan, so I will be seeing this movie when it comes out, and I'm excited to see what Sony does with this character. I'm hoping we get to see him along with Venom against Spider-Man at some point. But yes, I am always a buyer of this book if you can get it for a good price. Again, one of my favorite Spider-Man keys. But at the top spot this week, guys, is another book that is just flying up the charts, and I can't figure out why. It is Strange Tales number 179, the first appearance of Pip the Troll, or the second appearance of Magus, and maybe that's why it's kind of going up in price right now. Either way, a CGC 9.0 recently sold this week for $345, and that's up 86% since May of this year. Again, a book that has really gone up a lot of money over a short period of time. To me, I actually own this book, but I've owned it, and I think I bought it for like $30 back in the day. I have it in one of my short boxes. Maybe now's a good time to sell this book for me if you're not married to this character or this book. And that's something I might do. You guys let me know in the comments what you think, but either way, that is a hefty price. I know it is a high grade book at 9.0. It's a hefty price to pay for this book right now. For me, it's a thumbs down. I'd probably stay away at these prices. But that's it for this list this week, guys. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you own any of these books? Do you want to buy them at these prices right now? Because I think a lot of them are really kind of astronomical. And that's really how the market has been over the past maybe 5 to 6 months, that I'm not really finding any books, any keys that I want to spend the money that they're going for. And I talked about that in a couple of my last videos about I'm searching for stuff, but the amount of money they want for some of these books, it's, to me, I just can't bring myself to do it. I'm always searching for keys. I'm looking at my LCS, I'm looking on eBay, I'm looking on Instagram live sales. I'm just looking for stuff, and just right now it is so hard to buy these high dollar value keys right now. So to me, if I'm gonna buy them, I gotta get them at a deal. Let me know what you think. Are you finding books at a deal right now? Are you paying up at these prices? Or are you kind of just waiting like I am for kind of some of these books to drop down? At least I hope they do, right? Yes, some of the keys that we own, we don't want to see them go down in value, but I want chances to buy some of these books again, right? I want multiple copies, or I want books out there that I don't have yet to drop in price so I can pounce on them. So with that said, that's Lawrence. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I'll talk to you guys soon.